Hi, I'm Chris, and on this channel I offer tips, guidance, and new perspectives on anxiety and OCD based on my own recovery. Today I'm going to talk about intrusive or unwanted thoughts, what they are, where they come from, and what we can do about them. There are two areas within the mind where thoughts arise. These are either the conscious thoughts, which is what we choose to think about throughout the day, or our subconscious thoughts. These thoughts are where the intrusive and unwanted thoughts and feelings arise from. So, first of all, let's just see what the subconscious mind is. The subconscious mind can be compared to a computer operating system. It is just a program which runs over and over and over again with the programs that it's been programmed with from childhood. When we are a child, we have the naivety and we have innocence. So inputs are received from the external world, and we are unable to determine if they are true or false. And they are just programmed into the subconscious mind without analysis or without reality testing. So, what happens is when anxiety and OCD arises, when we are feeling overwhelmed, and these conditions step in to let us know that we're exhausted, these thoughts from which we learn arise, the intrusive or unwanted thoughts arise within us. And what happens is they're processed by a section of the brain called the amygdala. Now, the amygdala is our fight or flight system. It is the emotional center of the brain. It's very primitive and works very rapidly to keep us safe. So, metaphorically, there are two databases for the amygdala. There is the safe database. So if a thought comes up and the amygdala decides, okay, that's a safe thought, it processes it into the safe database, we forget about it, and then we move on with our lives. But if a thought comes up and the amygdala deems this to be unsafe, it processes it into the unsafe database, but it also fires off the full fight or flight system within us, which makes us feel anxious and overwhelmed. This feeling that arises within us is perfectly natural. This is just our safety system to try and help us stay away from danger. The issue is, though, is that people with anxiety and OCD, their feelings are uncalibrated, and we don't tend to be able to see the reality of things. So instead of that, we get hit by these full emotional system from the fight or flight response, and this begins to then make us analyze our thoughts. We tend to think if these thoughts that arise are me, or if I do those things, or what the thoughts mean. Do they have any significance for the future? Are they real or are they just projected imagination? What I can tell you is that our mind doesn't know what will happen. It thinks it knows what will happen. Our ego will project into the future what it thinks will happen. But this is just based on the programming that we received as children, unless we spend the time reprogramming our mind for more healthy beliefs and more healthy outcomes and feelings within our body. So OCD was called the doubting disease. Now, people with OCD are obviously experts at doubting. And now it's a very good idea if you can begin to doubt your doubts. Just because a thought arises and a feeling comes up within you, that doesn't mean there's any reality to it. We need to learn to reality test our thoughts. And surely, if you think that having these negative, unwanted, or intrusive thoughts will make that situation happen, surely then that would mean that having happy, optimistic thoughts would mean that that would happen. That's the logic that seems to be to me. So, this is how we begin reprogramming the mind. is by when these thoughts arise, we talk over the top, softly and gently, as if we would to a child, which the subconscious mind does react like, because the subconscious mind has the intelligence of about a 7 or 8 year old. So if you can talk softly and kindly to it, and if you can say optimistic thoughts, so if the thought arises, what if I harm that person? You can talk over the top with, I would never harm another human being. I'm a good person. I respect everyone else. There's no need to worry about this thought. I would never act on any of these intrusive thoughts because I am a good person. So that is the process of beginning to reprogram the unconscious mind. And one final thought as well is that people with OCD who have these intrusive thoughts, they think that they're them. They think that they'll act on them. But people with OCD are actually very nice people. And they are such good people that they care so much about others. And this is why the thoughts arise, because OCD scares us with the opposite of who we truly are. So if it means that you would never act on any of these thoughts, and it's just your unconscious mind's way of scaring you into staying at home and staying away from people and relaxing and recharging and trying to become biologically well again. So that is the way we move forward, learning to reprogram the unconscious mind for more positive and optimistic thoughts, so that those original thoughts that would arise within us have been replaced. So they can no longer be offered up, and instead, nice feelings and nice emotions would be offered up instead.